This Barricade Extreme HD front bumper with 9,500 pound winch kit is for those of you that have a 2007 to 2018 JK and are looking for a front bumper and winch combination that's going to work very well together, but also look very good together, at least in my opinion. This is going to add a ton of function and also a ton of form. Now, this is going to be a kit that installs very easily onto your Jeep, definitely a 1 out of 3 wrench installation. The bumper is going to bolt directly onto your Jeep in place of the factory bumper. The winch bolts directly onto the bumper, and even the wiring of the winch is very, very simple, even if you don't have a lot of experience with automotive wiring. But we'll talk a little bit more about that installation in just a second. So like I said, this is going to be a kit that's going to add a ton of function and a ton of form onto your Jeep. If you are looking for what basically equates to a full width front bumper with a lot of additional features over that factory bumper, and also a no frills winch that's just going to get the job done, I think this is going to be a very fairly priced kit. So this is a combo kit including both the winch and the bumper. First, I want to talk about the bumper. This is the Extreme HD front bumper from Barricade. So it is going to be a little bit different from that Trail Force HD bumper in styling and also in a couple of features. So this bumper is going to be 3/16 inch steel with 0.12 inch wall thickness tubing. So this is going to be a little bit of a thicker steel than the Trail Force HD from Barricade. That means you're going to get a little bit more strength from it, but you're also going to get a little bit more weight from it, which is a little bit of a concern to some of you guys, especially when you're running a winch with your bumper. You don't want that front end sag. So just know this is going to be a big heavy bumper, but with that it's going to offer a ton of protection. As you can see on the outside, it's covered with a textured black powder coat finish that's going to do a nice job of matching a lot of the factory black plastic accents on your JK, as well as a lot of the other aftermarket accessories that you might have bolted onto your Jeep. Now, as far as the features of this bumper, starting out here, you do have spots for your factory fog lights, and that's something I always look for in an aftermarket bumper. You already have those lights, you have the wiring, the switching, everything's there. Why not purchase a bumper that accepts those factory lights? And this one is going to do just that for you. As long as you have a factory plastic front bumper and not one of those special edition steel bumpers, which is the vast majority of you, your fog lights are going to bolt directly into this new bumper. Now, right next to the fog light mounts, you're going to have a couple of D-ring mounts, and they're going to be welded directly through to the mounting points of the bumper, so they bolt directly onto the frame, and they're going to give you a nice strong recovery point for your Jeep. So you're going to be able to either use your winch going to a snatch block and back to the bumper again, or use a snatch strap or a toe strap, whatever you need, having those nice strong recovery points. And the other nice thing I like about this kit is that it includes not only the mounts, but also the D-rings themselves. Now, that's not going to be a make or break for you. If a bumper doesn't include the D-rings, it's not that you're not going to look at that one, but it is nice that this comes right in the box for you. You don't have to worry about purchasing something separately and forgetting about it. Right in the middle of this bumper, you're going to have your winch mount. Now, this is going to be sunken down a little bit, which in my opinion gives a really nice look, kind of hides about half the winch body, makes it look a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more sleek, but of course you're still going to have the cutout for your fairlead. And then up top, you're going to have your brush bar. So this is going to have a little bit of additional style by having this outer tube and the inner tube, again, a little bit different from some of those other Barricade bumpers. And this is also going to have some light mount tabs on it. But instead of just having 2 tabs where you can mount individual lights, this actually has 4 different holes. So it's designed for a 21.5 inch light bar and also an individual light pod, or mix and match, install whatever you like. But just know that you do have both of those mounts, which is something not a lot of other bumpers have. If you want to mount a light bar on some of those other bumpers, you have to fabricate a bracket. With these, it's built right in for you. So the other half of this kit is going to be the winch, and this is Barricade's 9,500 pound winch, and this is really a no frills winch. And what I mean by that is the fact that this has a steel cable. This doesn't have some of those other accessories that some of the more expensive winches have, like a wireless remote, synthetic line, being waterproof, having lights or light mounts, being able to air up your tires. All of those additional features, while they are nice to have, are going to drive up the price. This is going to be a no frills, simple, bare bones winch that's just going to get the job done, and it's going to help to keep the kit price for the bumper and the winch down considerably, which is very, very nice. Now, this is the 9,500 pound winch, and generally the rule of thumb is that you want a winch to be able to pull 1.5 times the loaded trail weight of your Jeep. So if you have a big, heavy 4-door JK that you're getting buried up to the axles in mud every weekend, maybe you want to look at a winch with a little bit more pulling capacity. But if you have a lighter 2-door, this is going to do it for you absolutely no problem. The other thing that you want to look at, aside from the pulling capacity, capacity is going to be the type of cable that's on the winch. That's another big decision you have to make when purchasing a winch. Again, this has a steel cable on it. That's going to be nice and durable. You don't have to worry about any sort of abrasions. You don't have to worry about any sort of damage due to UV rays from the sun. Now, the synthetic line does have a couple of benefits to it. One being that it's a little bit lighter, so when you're dragging it up those steep, muddy hills, it's a little bit easier on you, and it's also safer in the fact that it doesn't store energy like the steel cable does. So if you're looking for those benefits and you have a little bit more to spend, go with a winch that has synthetic line. If you want to keep the cost down, this steel cable winch is absolutely going to get the job done. And again, this kit is going to be a little bit less expensive for it. So I'm going to give this installation a 1 out of 3 wrenches, and the whole process is going to take you right around 2 hours, give or take, depending on if you have help and what type of tools you're using. So the first step in the install is going to be removing that factory front bumper. In order to do that, you'll remove the frame cover up top and the splash shield on the bottom, then unbolt the bumper and remove it after removing the fog lights from the fog light housings. Once that factory front bumper is completely removed, you can go ahead and attach your winch onto your new bumper. Once the winch is attached to the bumper, it's just a matter of attaching the bolts to bolt everything onto your Wrangler. Now, the last step in the process is going to be wiring up your winch, and even if you don't have a lot of experience with automotive wiring, this is still a very simple process. There are only 2 leads that you need to run through the grille, along the inner fender and up to the battery, where you'll make the connections. This kit, including both the bumper and the winch, comes in at $700, which I do think is a very good deal for what you're getting. There are some front bumpers that will run you close to $700. There are some winches that will run you close to $700. And in this kit, you're going to get both for right around that price, which again, I do think is very fair. You're getting a ton of features, and in my opinion, a really great look from this setup. It's going to do really well for you on-road and off-road, and it's not going to completely break the bank. So if you're looking for an affordable front bumper and winch combination, I definitely recommend taking a look at this one from Barricade, and you can find it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.